Всем привет! Как слышно, как видно, дайте знать, пожалуйста. Так, я себя вижу, отлично. Hi everyone, my name is Elena Jung, and this is Mindset Monday number 6, where we talk all about our mindset around Russian speaking and Russian learning. And I'm so happy to see you today. Even if you're watching the replay, I'm happy to see you have watched it or your comments. Okay, so while I'm waiting for you to... Okay, Joy is here. Hi, Joy. Happy to see you. I think it's too noisy here today. Joy, can you... Hi, Enrico. Guys, is it too noisy? Because I left my door open. I have to probably shut it. Just a moment. I'm back. Okay, as you can see, I have a beautiful background today. I'm here at home, but this is a beautiful place. I can do the video with you. Okay, so Joe says it sounds okay, but that will help. Yes, I did it. Thank you. Okay, guys, so today, actually, Joy and Enrico, I am so happy you're here today because this is the topic that you would love to hear as you've been there already with me. So you have had already your first conversation with me. And it was just a real conversation as the first ever for humans when we meet somewhere in the world and we just start talking. That's how we did it. So we had our first live chat on Instagram with Joel last week. And so today's topic for Mindset Monday number 6 is first conversation in Russian. Why is this topic so important? Because I see people all the time who have been learning Russian for years. So Enrico, you shared with me that it's been 5 years for you already. For some people, it's even 7, 8, or 10 years. Or they have been learning Russian through all their life, but they still haven't ever had their conversations yet. And this is the primary goal for us, to have great natural conversations with Russian speakers, with natives, and feel great about it. Feel great about yourself. Feel great about what you want to share. And this is why we're here. That's why I'm here, because I want you to have that conversation as early as possible. And today, I'm going to share with you why. So when it comes to speaking with a native speaker, with a Russian native, usually what people say is that, you know, I'm just a beginner. I'm a newbie. I don't really have that much vocabulary. I'm not that strong. I'm not there yet. This is what I hear all the time. What I ask people, so people come to me and ask me to help them speak better Russian, to feel more confident. It's for their business, it's for their studies. It can be with just because they want to work with Russian partners, but they don't feel confident just to have that middleman all the time translating. So they want to learn Russian. And that's what they have been doing probably for years. So when people come to me and ask for help, I ask them a question. What is your goal with Russian? What do you want to have? How do you know you are there already? And if this is a very clear goal, like I need this for business, I need this for studies, I need this because I have a Russian speaking partner and I want to have better, deeper conversations with her, with him. Okay, great. So my question is, when do you want to have that meaningful conversation? Is it in a year? Is it in 2 years? Is it in 6 months? Usually people tend to say something like at least half a year, or I don't know, I'm just a beginner. So let's just, I don't know, let's assume maybe like in 3 months, I will be able just to say something. Guys, you don't have to wait. You can start speaking Russian right now with a native speaker. You don't have to prepare yourself for that. You are who you are, and that's enough. You don't have to be someone else. You don't have to pretend like you are someone else or pretend being fluent in Russian. Just be there and be who you are. And another thing is that there is a myth that when you are learning a language, especially Russian language, because people think that it's not the easiest one to learn. So if you are learning a language, you have to lower your standards. This is a total myth. This is not true. You don't have to do that. People say, okay, so maybe in a few months, I will be able to have a basic conversation in Russian with a native. Or, I don't know, maybe at least like a child. So that level of conversation. No, you don't want to be a child. You don't want to speak like a child. This is not your goal. And what is basic? When I ask you what basic is, what is your answer? Basic for me and basic for you and basic for other 10,000 people in the world who learn Russian, it can be a completely different thing. But because of this myth, people think that a basic conversation in Russian is «Привет, как дела? Что ты делаешь? Где ты работаешь? Где ты живешь?» Guys, do you have this type of conversations in your language? In English, in Italian, in Portuguese? Do you ask people these questions when you meet them for the first time? We're not talking about learning Russian with a teacher now, or when you meet up with someone like for language exchange or something, and you are there to practice. You are both very conscious about that. We're talking about real people, about us, humans. We meet somewhere in the world. It can be online, can be in real life. And we want to have a great conversation. Is this the questions that you want to ask me? No, I don't think so. And one very important thing here is that we tend to put all those labels. I'm a beginner, and you feel sorry for yourself. I've just started. I have such a long way to go. I'm a newbie. Please don't feel sorry for yourself. You probably like challenges in your life. That's why you are learning Russian. You are not an easy one, right? You like challenges, and this is your challenge for now, to learn Russian. And you chose it. Or maybe the language has chosen you. I don't know, it happens. You know, sometimes people just have to move to a Russian-speaking country, and they just have to learn the language. But anyway, this is your decision, right? So these labels, these tags and levels, most importantly, forget about them. Just forget. Sometimes people come to me and say, I'm just A1, or I'm just this, or I'm just that. They give themselves labels. They give themselves those tags. I'm a newbie, I'm a beginner, I'm these letters. Don't do this. You put this fence around your spirit. You put the fence around your spirit to be adventurous, to be excited. That's why you learn Russian. You love challenges. You love adventure. You want to be excited and happy when you learn it. You don't want to be bored. You don't want to be corrected all the time. You don't want to be considered as a newbie. What is newbie? This is what you think about yourself. That's why others think this about yourself too. Change this perspective. Change your attitude to yourself. You don't have to start with this, and that, and then maybe have a conversation in 2 years with a native. You don't have to do that. You can start speaking right now. And that's what Joe and Enrico did. Exactly that. They just pressed the button and we had a beautiful live conversation in pure Russian. And you can do that too. So another thing is that language is a tool. I've said it so many times, and I'm going to say it again and again. A language is a tool. Russian is a tool that you want to use to express yourself, to connect with people, to change somebody's perspective, to achieve your goals, to be a better human being, maybe in some way, as a person, as a professional, as a student. But language is just a tool. A language doesn't change you as a persona. Language doesn't change your personality. You are who you are. Don't try to be a different person. When you ask this type of questions, which are considered as basic, you lower your standards. You try to be who you are not being. Don't do this. And this, remember that example that I gave you in one of the first conversations? The word philanthropia in Russian is not harder to pronounce than здравствуйте. But for some reason, здравствуйте is more important in your basic conversation than philanthropia. Привет is much easier. Добрый день is much easier. Добрый вечер, доброе утро. You don't have to learn that здравствуйте. Learn something meaningful that you are going to use. Another thing is that, Joe, I know you're there, and I'm so grateful for our conversation last week. And I want to talk about this a little bit here. So during our conversation, I asked Joe to ask me a question. And Joe asked me just the first question that popped into in his head at that moment. And that was the question. Можно спросить, сколько тебе лет? And my reply was, да, можно спросить, но я не отвечу. Then we had a laugh about it, and then I replied, yeah, I'm 34. And Joe said, I'm 37. And then we had a conversation about that. So after this live chat, we talked with Joe. I didn't even mention this, that it was kind of like not a very appropriate question to ask, especially during the first conversation. But Joe said it himself. This is probably not the best question I could ask you, but that was the only one I knew how to ask. My question to you is this a question that you want to ask a person, maybe especially a woman, during your first conversation? Is it? No, I don't think so. Do you have to ask this question in Russian? No. Then don't. Don't ask this question. But this is not because Joe wanted to ask this question. It's because it was the only one that he knew how to ask properly, grammatically correct. And this is another myth. So you have to learn how to ask a question properly, grammatically correct. Then you can ask it. Why? Why is that? When Joe had that little shift in his mind, he asked me a real question that he wanted to really ask me. And that was, какую музыку ты любишь? Какую музыку ты любишь? Wow, what a beautiful question to ask. Movies, music, books, these are the best topics and the easiest one you can get connected with people straight away. If this is the right person, I mean the right person that you really want in your life as a friend, as a partner, whoever, as a business partner, if you really want to have this person in your life, then you can get it straight away. You can get connected straight away, just with the right question. So I ask you, please find better questions to ask. You can do that easily. Philanthropia is easier to pronounce than здравствуйте. Какую музыку ты любишь is a much better question to ask than сколько тебе лет. Or sometimes people ask questions like, ты замужем? You know, this question tells me more about that person than anything else in our conversation could. And this is the first question that people sometimes ask. So please, don't be there. Don't be that person. Be yourself. Another thing I wanted to talk with you about is, you know, these situations happen when you feel like you need to help someone, and maybe that person is Russian speaking. That was another conversation with Chad last week. So he shared with me that he saw a woman outside. He wanted to drive down the street and the road was blocked and he couldn't. And her English wasn't that good. And that was a Russian-speaking woman. So he decided to help her. And what he said was, he wanted to say, следуйте за мной. So he wanted just to show her the way to go. But he wasn't sure how to say it properly. But he said it anyway. What was the result? He helped the person out. And it was so easy. And of course, that lady, I believe, was very grateful. But if you think about grammar, if you think about what is the proper ending in this word, what's going to happen? You lost it. You missed it. You missed the moment when you could help. Or you decided to stay inside, not to put yourself out there, not to say a word in Russian, just, to be sorry for yourself, how bad your Russian is, but you decided, you chose not to help. I'm so happy that chat did it. And you can too. And this is what's really interesting. When you add a meaningful comment to a conversation with Russian speakers, even if you put it with a wrong ending, wrong, I mean grammatically not the best way to say, let's put it this way, because I don't really use this wrong label. I don't see why we use it all the time. This is wrong. You can do better. This is not what you were supposed to say. So you say something, you add a comment, a meaningful comment, but with wrong endings, wrong, grammatically not super correct. Okay, so what's going to happen? Some people will think and remember you as someone, maybe even as a foreigner, who tried to speak Russian, but is so bad in grammar. His grammar is just terrible. I don't want to talk with this person ever again. And there will be other people who will think and remember you as a great human, as a great personality, as a deep thinker, and they will not care about the endings of the verbs that you used. And this is what matters. What people do you want in your life? People that you want to have deep conversations with grammatically incorrect, for now, endings, maybe not. Maybe they are perfectly correct and great. But who would you choose to have in your life? These people who see you as a person, see you as a deep thinker, or you want to have those people who think only about your grammar, about the endings, and they don't really try to get your message. They are there just to judge and correct. Again, guys, you have to choose wisely who you spend your time with, especially when you speak Russian. Another thing is that all we've talked about today makes sense and will make a difference for you only if you put it in action. So my message to you today is that you can start speaking Russian right now. You don't have to wait until you check all the boxes in your grammar book. As I said before, don't even try to dig that grammar before you can absorb the information in Russian. It is prohibited to learn grammar before you can comprehend it in Russian. Your target is to speak, and you can start doing it right now. So again, raise your standards. Don't accept this just as basic level that you want to speak. Don't accept it as being a beginner. You are learning Russian and you chose it. And you are a person who wants to be better, not worse. So use this tool to help you express who you really are. Raise your standards, guys. So it's been long today. What time is it? 27 minutes. It's always like Swiss watch. Let me see what your comments and questions are today. So, hi all. Ahmed from Dubai says hi all. Welcome, Ahmed. Oh my gosh, Joy and Enrico, you are just the best, because I love seeing this. You are having these conversations between each other, and you are welcoming other people. Guys, this is just so beautiful. You are the best. I better say it in Russian because you know how I say this in Russian. Молодцы, вы лучшие. Вы лучшие. Welcome, go ahead. I do like changes, and learning Russian is difficult, but also will be a great accomplishment. Learn Russian opened my brain and soul to a new point of view. Enrico says, with my Moldavian clients that speak Russian, talk more easy for me to start business and know each other better, not as business as usual, but as real human. Enrico, this is so true. I'm so happy that you feel this way. This is so different, right? So we can. Great advice. As always, Joe says, Joe, thank you so much. There is never a perfect time to start something, whether it's starting a business or having a conversation with someone. Привет, Елена. Steve, hi, happy to see you. Привет, Елена, спасибо за все видео. Skylar says, thank you, Skylar. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Guys, so next week, when we have a real live chat on Instagram, this is your time to shine. This is your time to press the button and go live with me and have maybe your first, maybe your 101st, doesn't matter, conversation in pure Russian. It doesn't matter what level you are. You will feel confident there just because you are who you are. You don't have to learn anything before going live with me. You don't have to prepare yourself. Just be there. And this is such a great opportunity just to know each other better, just to share, to exchange those great, good vibes, to support and just help each other. It's a great place to live, planet Earth. And it's so good to be a human being. And it's so amazing to be alive. So this is my invitation. It's open. You don't have to register. You don't have to comment or anything. Just be there. It's Wednesday, and it's 5 p.m. PDT. I will see you there. Okay, so any other questions? Guys, more we talk, more fun we will have. Enrico says, everyone should do the Instagram conversations. Звучит прекрасно. Skylar, это звучит превосходно. Это звучит замечательно. These are the phrases that Joe learned last time when we had a conversation last week on Instagram. Замечательное настроение. У меня прекрасный день. И как Скайлер сказал, это звучит прекрасно. Я полностью согласна. Enrico says, we are here to help each other. I learned a lot listening conversation from Elena and Joe. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your ongoing support. I appreciate you so much. And I'm just really, honestly, it's not just about Russian. Maybe it's not about Russian at all. This is just a tool, right, to get connected. And I am so happy that I have a chance to connect with you using this beautiful tool. I wish you a beautiful day and week ahead. Прекрасной недели, замечательного дня. Я благодарна вам за то, что вы посмотрели видео и за ваши комментарии. Вы лучшие. До скорой встречи в следующий понедельник. Счастливого понедельника. Пока.